Shout out to MC for believing in the vision.
That's my homie.
He took me in and joined me on this crazy mission.
Yeah.
So now it's up to me to make the execution. You can never box me in, I'm more than Afrofusion. I can switch it up and bring it back, all without confusion. Don't get too comfortable, you're gonna need a cushion.
So, welcome to my podcast, MC Podcast. Yeah, hosted one of my homie, my friend, the second. Yeah, so he's here. I think he can introduce himself for the first, maybe for second time, first time, bro.
This is the second episode actually.
Second episode. So anyway, he can tell you what he does and who he is and where you can find him before we start the podcast, bro.
Yeah, so my name is The Second. I'm from UG. You can find me on streaming platforms everywhere at The Second. Social media, The Second 256.
So what do? You do music, you do movies, or that?
Yeah, so I make music, mostly hip hop music, but I also experiment with other genres.
Right.
And I also can do editing, video shoots, photography. Yeah.
Oh, that's good, So anyway, as we start our podcast, I think you have heard him. You can check him on Spotify. He has good music. You can check him on Spotify. You can also find him on MC Podcast, You can also find him on YouTube and all those platforms is there. So anyway, you in Rwanda, right?
Yep.
You came to Rwanda.
1 week now.
1 week now. The week is down.
Man.
So how do you see Rwanda right now? How in terms of organization, in terms of peace, in terms of freedom, how do you think Rwanda is different from all those places they've been, or it's the same thing?
No, it's very different, man. I feel like Rwanda is quite slow compared to like where I've been.
Like slow in which terms?
In terms of like even like interactions with people, like you meet a border guy on the street, you ask him if he speaks English.
Right.
9 times out of 10 they don't speak English, so they just you can't even tell them where you want to go. Like yesterday actually, I was when you called me when I was bringing the keys.
Right.
I met a border guy and then I tried to talk to him, but we couldn't communicate because of the language barrier. So
Right.
that's one of the things that makes it slow for me here. And also like in terms of just like going out there and like chasing things, people like tend to take their time here.
Right.
They're more like relaxed, laid back. It's like they just want to follow the law and
Yeah, absolutely.
no risk takers.
Right. So you find that as a nice thing or something like it's still holding us
I
back?
mean, I like to challenge myself, but
Right.
in a way that also like pulls me back because I'm used to a different pace,
Right.
moving at a different pace
Right.
than the one I found here. But I could also learn from it, like learn to be more disciplined, more patient. So there's positives and negatives as well.
Right.
Yeah.
So what about in terms of organization, in terms of peace, in terms of freedom?
No, actually, that part is like a huge plus because here I feel very safe. I feel like I can walk anywhere and not have to worry about like checking my pockets.
Even your phone grab.
Man, in Nairobi, you always have to,
To be
it's a certain street, you have to, make sure your phone is still there because man, it can happen in a quick second like that. But
Right.
here you can walk anywhere and it's like free. People, you don't see like threats anywhere. It's like people mind their own business. They don't want to attack you or like make you uncomfortable. So I enjoy that side actually.
Wow. So for which places of Rwanda have you moved for the first week you've been here?
So this week we've been to Kichukiro. We went to see a producer that side.
Gikondo.
Yeah, we went to Gikondo also. Then that other place, is that Gikondo where we went for the convention?
No, that's in town.
So I've also been to that side.
Right.
So I also passed through Remera, I think. We've been close to the airport as well. But I feel like I still have like a lot of places to
Okay.
go.
So anyway, recently you went to this Trinamo concert, or it was
The
like
festival, yeah.
the festival thing. So it was all about talents of young Africans. I think it was combined with all the African countries, maybe Ugandans, Kenyans, Rwandans, and the Ivory Coast, because we found a lot of people who are speaking French. You know what I'm saying? So you went there, you saw how many kids were there, very talented. You saw how the performance was. How do you talk about that thing? Like for you, who's a young artist who's coming up, was trying to make it in the game. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How did you see? Was it necessary to throw a concert like that? Because I read it is done 3 times in a year. 3 times in a year.
Yeah,
In
and
Rwanda.
actually, I feel lucky having arrived on the time when it was being thrown, because if I'd arrived last year, I would have missed it.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
I'm glad I arrived this year when they were throwing it again,
Mm.
and I could see like a lot of different people. Actually, there's even like a rapper that I saw. I might be mistaken, but this I don't know. You might have seen him too. This tall,
Yeah.
light-skinned guy with dreadlocks.
Yeah, he's called. What's his name?
I think Comethazine something. I've forgotten his name, but I'll have to check. But I've seen his videos before. He was there also. There were also like a bunch of like French people, French-speaking people.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we all got lost because we don't speak French.
Yeah, we watched the whole show, you guys, in French without understanding anything.
Without. Understanding anything.
But it was fun. It was very lively, and
even the first lady was there, right?
yeah, the first lady was there. There too much security.
Yeah, too much. But she's lovely because everyone was free. You know, we watched her. You know, she was very good. You know, thanks for her for supporting for the young talented people. You know, so you went there. Did you make some connections and did you meet some new people that you interacted with?
Yeah, first we met the reporter from the New Times,
Right.
Frank. He did a short interview with me, and we actually saw it today. He published it.
On New Times. Wow, it was
New
amazing.
Times,
You can check it out on New Times. Alinda Peter, you can see the article there, you know.
Yeah, and I also got to meet Bukuru, one of the singers there.
Oh, she's amazing, right?
What up, God? The second is here right now. Who is performing? We're gonna meet after this soon. Exactly. Catch up well.
Yeah, and she's also like a very warm person. She's very welcoming and jolly, and I like her. So
Wow. So you think you can keep going there, you can interact with the people that you made there so that you keep like you're growing up?
yeah, for sure. Because I even read in the article that Frank wrote that there were people from like the Fader, you know, like Universal. So basically, there were people like label like A&R's scouting talent.
Right.
I didn't know about that, but I think it's a huge opportunity for someone to be like discovered, you know, like to showcase your talent. Like for example, Fox Makare, the way he was rapping, I was really impressed with his performance.
Yeah, Fox Makar, yeah.
And I would love to like, you know, meet other artists like that, get to collab with them, and take this thing to the next level.
So before we keep going, you at least you have listened some of the music in Rwanda. Who are your favorite that this guy is really good in Rwanda? Like favorite artist in Rwanda?
Well, right now I recently discovered Buiza. She has a song called To You. So that's the only song I've heard so far. So I have to go back and listen to the rest of her music. But
Right.
I love that song, Buiza, To You. There's also Mike Kaihura. I knew Mike Kaihura even before I came here because he had a song that was blowing up in UG.
Right.
Also, I like Fox Makare's music. His live performance. Unfortunately, he doesn't have music on streaming platforms, so I can't really find him.
Bro, you can step that thing and put some music because you got some great fans here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I would really love to work with Fox Makare, Bukuru also.
Yeah, she's
And
amazing.
also they also have another artist from Bukuru's label. He's called Okama. He's also good with the vocals.
Okay.
So far it's those people that have.
So if you've been given a chance, who do you wish to first work with in those artists you have mentioned?
Fox Makare, of course.
Fox Makare.
Fox Makare is hands down for me like my favorite right now.
Wow.
I don't even understand what he sings about, but just like the way he delivers
The
it, man,
energy.
the flow, the energy is very engaging, and
Right.
it's like it's really cool to watch, man.
Oh wow.
You should see him live.
Oh wow. It's so interesting. So you have like you wish like to start dropping some music in Rwanda and yourself start, mingling with these new artists or even the superstars, You see, how do you see yourself with this industry of music in Rwanda?
Yeah, I feel like actually I could be a great addition.
Right.
Not to brag, but just to like knowing what I can deliver, what I can bring.
Absolutely.
It would be great to like collab with some of the artists here, and also like bring out my sound, get to tap into their like listener fan base. So I'm actually excited to start recording music. So we got to meet a producer. He's also down to work. So hopefully this week we'll get to even make some more music. Like for me, I'm always ready to make music. So.
I know you grew up, it's all about music. You've grown up loving music. To the point even now you're doing music.
Yeah.
To the point, let's go back internationally. You have your greatest artist.
Yeah.
International and both in Africa. Like you have watched Super Bowl, right?
Yeah.
You have watched Super Bowl 2021.
Yeah.
Sorry, 2022.
Yeah.
You have watched Super Bowl 2023.
Yeah.
You have watched Super Bowl 2024.
Yeah.
In 2021, I think it was the Death Row Records performing the West Coast, right?
Yeah.
2023 it was Rihanna performing, right?
Yeah.
Then this year it was Usher.
Yeah.
If you see those three, these are the legends we're talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're talking about Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're talking about Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent,
Yeah.
Mary J on the same goddamn stage.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Now we come here, we have Rihanna.
Yeah.
Eh? I think you're getting what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Rihanna.
Yeah.
Now this year we have the one of the best R&B singer, Usher,
Yeah.
where Jermaine Dupri was there, Real John was there, Ruda was there. You know what I'm saying? Alicia Keys was there, and you've watched all those performing, legends.
Yeah.
Who do you think really took it to another level? Who do you think it was like, bro? This year was a fire. Like what I mean? It was fire.
Actually, for me, I think the Death Row one was
The West Coast.
Yeah.
When Snoop Dogg was scanning that creep walk on
Yeah, because I'm like you predominantly hip hop, so like of course hip hop, man. There was Eminem, 50 Cent, Kendrick, like
Right.
So
the queen of hip hop, Mary J.
Man, so for me that was like my favorite one so far, actually. So as far as actually I haven't watched like the full performance of Usher, so I'm yet to see that one and compare. But so far it's the Death Row one that works.
Oh. Yeah, because even Usher, Ruda came in with those funny, and how you saw even Jedi, the way Jedi was dressing, Jedi, the king of one of the best producers in R&B and hip hop,
Yeah.
So, now we are still in music. Current in music, we have seen how Africans have made African music go on map.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? One now it is internationally.
Yeah.
Americans are going crazy on African music, which we never had back days.
Yeah.
The Burna Boys are killing it, the Wizkids are killing it, the Davido and all other things, Raymond, all those people.
Yeah.
You think that if these legends who have made it, these who have taken Africa on a certain level, do you think that some other kids were gonna come up and do the same thing like these people who are doing it?
Yeah, for sure, man. Because I feel like what they're doing right now, they're like paving the way for like the next wave.
Right.
So now Afrobeat is what's popping right now. But I feel like there's gonna come another genre that's gonna, evolve. I feel like Afrobeat is gonna evolve the way like hip hop evolved to like trap music and all I feel like Afrobeat is also going to evolve, take it to like the next level. the way you see now, there's also like Amapiano from
Right.
South Africa. I feel like maybe there could even come a sound from East Africa. You never know. Like music is always
It's so
finding a way to like just evolve.
exactly.
So I'm actually excited for that, like for them paving the way for us and like opening the doors and making it like, easier for like the next ones to come.
Right.
Because I can only imagine how hard it must have been for like the pioneers of Afrobeat. Imagine like the Two-Face days
Yeah.
without like all the media coverage in
Oh,
the US.
exactly.
But now they're doing tours, like sold out tours in the US, in Europe, like it's crazy.
I think Akon was the first artist that gave Africans to really open up for international when he featured with the Rick Ross, with the Convict, with the P Squares.
No, but you know, Akon was American. Like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's the first person to give African away.
yeah, because people associate, you know, when they know it's from Senegal. Like,
Exactly, because
Africa,
you know when you
now.
feature the P Squares,
Yeah.
I think that's why the most African you rate. The videos and the
Yeah, also that time when you know Kanye West did the D'banj thing, he signed D'banj. So D'banj is also like one of the first Africans to like tap into the American market. You know, getting signed to Kanye West and doing all those collabs with all those artists. Actually, he's from the same generation as P Square, so
right. Yeah.
also P Square were like one of the pioneers. Two-Face. So those are like the OGs
OG.
in Africa.
So you've seen the African music, the old school and the current music.
Yeah.
What has changed? Like what has really changed to this? Like the revolution, because those are the legends. I respect them. I give them my piece.
Yeah.
But what has changed? What has changed to do with the revolutionary music to the point where you say that now African music, the Afrobeat, is going crazy everywhere.
Yeah, I feel like the production has also changed like very significantly. You can hear like if you go back to like those days, you can hear there's a difference in like the way it sounded as compared to like how it sounds now. I feel like for me, I started noticing that change when Wizkid has a song called Final, and there's that sound that he had. Legendary Beats he produced the track. You can hear that sound for the song on Final, and it's like P2J is now what's popping right now. P2J is like he took that sound and now evolved it, and you can hear songs like Essence. So for me, like when I listen to Essence, Wizkid and Thames, it takes me back to when he released Final, and I can see like there's a similarity in the beats, but the production has also like evolved. So I feel like that evolution in the production and also like sound sonically, you know, like auto-tune, stuff like that, also like doing more collabs. The internet, like I feel like the internet has also played like a huge role. TikTok, you know, makes like the world look very small. You know, you can talk to anyone like from anywhere in the world. So
right.
Technology mostly. Yeah.
Recently it was Grammys. You saw how Grammys went.
Yeah.
You saw most of this new young 22-year-old female artist Tyler won her first Grammy of her song Water. And some legends of being in the game for a long time have never taken that award at home. How do you talk about it? Like, man, was she wanted to win that Grammy or she wasn't? Like, you know what I'm saying? It's all because they go with the popping thing.
Well, for me, I don't really buy so much into that politics of the Grammys.
Right.
I feel like she deserves it actually. You know, her song is popping. Everyone's doing the challenge. You know, she's putting Sauta on the map. So I feel like she actually deserves it. You know, those people that are hating, how can she be Burna Boy? How can she be, bruh? Like, come on. Burna already has his Grammy.
Exactly.
It doesn't mean he's done. He's still making music. There's gonna be like more opportunities. For me, like I feel like when someone gets a Grammy, there's a reason to it. You know, like they have some sort of influence. Even just to be nominated,
right?
You must have some sort of influence. And I see like the way she influenced a lot of people.
Yeah, TikTok everywhere. Yeah. Oh, everything is like.
So for me, in my opinion, I actually think she deserves it, man.
You know, guess what? I don't much do Afro-based music, and me, I do much of old school music. Yeah. But the first time I heard her song Water, I was on TikTok. Then I found some beautiful ladies who were shaking their ass. I was like, you know, the song captured me and the dance captured me, and I was like, let me check. Immediately, I just downloaded that song into my phone.
Yeah.
So, Jay came out and said that, you know, she doesn't understand the statistics of Grammys.
Mm.
You know, he went ahead and said that, you know, there is this lady that has won more Grammys, but has never won the album of the year. I think you heard that.
I didn't really hear that.
You didn't hear. You didn't watch that thing.
I've really been like off, you know.
Oh.
I still have a lot of things to catch up on. Like since making the move to Rwanda, I still have
yeah,
like, you know,
I feel, yeah. Okay. Then we shall come back on that later. So okay, if I'm to ask you, who are your top live or dead artists in Africa? Let it be hip hop, let it be Afrobeats, whatever.
That's a nice one actually. So for me, I really like Oxlade from Nigeria. I feel like Oxlade is like he's one of those like once in a lifetime artists.
Right.
Like Oxlade, sonically speaking, I feel like no one touches him. He's like in a whole different league. So for me, it's Oxlade. You have Kenneth Mugabe from Uganda. This guy is like young. He's like my generation, but the music he makes, man, it's like Paul Cafero type music.
Yeah,
but, you know, he's a young guy, but like his music intelligence, man, it's just like next level.
Right.
He sings in Luganda, but he has powerful vocals, man. You know, like nowadays you don't even have to understand the language to enjoy the music.
Yeah, exactly.
So Kenneth Mugabe from UG, Oxlade from Nigeria. You have Mayra Andrade. She's from Cape Verde. She sings in Portuguese and Cape Verdean Creole. I also don't understand what she sings, but like her voice.
Yeah, her
voice.
Yeah.
I tend to like gravitate towards the voice mostly. You have there's Aries. Aries is actually, I think, my age. You know, he's like a year younger than me.
Right.
He's from South Africa. Like for me right now, he's actually like the best rapper from Africa.
Right.
If you don't know Aries, then I feel sorry for your ears, man. Because this guy he has bars for days, man. He's like, I feel like he's one of the people that's really keeping hip hop alive right now. Then you have actually Burna Boy is also a huge influence, man. Because the way he can like tap into all genres, he can do reggae, he can do rap, he can do dance.
For real. Yeah, when it comes to, I have also known that guy.
He's very versatile, man.
Yeah, I love his music.
I really like Burna Boy also. Yeah. There's actually a couple of them, but those are like my top ones.
Your top.
Yeah.
So, so how do you see, you've seen where the Americans have taken that industry of music? Like we grew up, you know, all it was about American music.
Yeah.
Now we're in the situation now, African Afrobeats, they are competing the two. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now when they talk about music, it's the two industry, the African and Americans. I think that's the most ones that are popping. Even though the Europe music also is coming up, you know, but the two now is Africa and America. So do you think Africa will keep the map like going to compete to the point where it will say over now to take over the American music? Do you think it will happen in the future one day?
I don't think it can take over the American music, and that's mostly because of the labels. The labels like influence the market, you know, and you know all the major labels are from the Americas.
Right.
So actually, African music is popping right now because the labels have now moved to Africa.
Right.
But they're not fully based here. You know, their headquarters are back home.
Yeah, back home.
So of course we're gonna give them competition. But I don't see us like taking over American music.
Yeah.
Because it's even like these parts of like Asia, China, where they don't even listen to African music, but they listen to American music.
The American music.
And that's mostly because of the big labels, man. But I feel like if the labels were to come here and set up bigger base here, they could actually take our music to like those top heights. The way it's going right now, like I feel like it's actually going like so. It's not just like this is going real fast.
The graph is moving up.
Yeah, it's really moving fast, and I feel like it's mostly because of those major labels. You can see like Empire. If you look at like all the artists, the Afrobeats artists, they have some sort of affiliation with a major label. Burna Boy, for example, like with Atlantic. You have the Fireboy Olamide with Empire. They come and they even do like partnerships with like African labels. So I actually like what they're doing as far as that.
Wow. So what is the major challenges that are being faced by African artists?
I I think mostly our setup, the way we're set up, man, our infrastructure,
Right.
our markets.
Mm.
Like, you know, we have this mentality in Africa, like, why would you buy a song when you can download it for free?
Exactly.
And I feel like that holds us back, you know, in a lot of ways. Because in the US, you know, people, he loves a song, he goes to iTunes, they buy a song, they
Right.
support the artist,
Mm-hmm.
they're supporting the industry. That's why the
Mm.
industry is way ahead of us. But for us, like, I think we need to first of all start with our economy.
Right.
The more jobs we can get, you know, like if we can curb the unemployment, you know, so people feel comfortable spending their hard-earned money on music as well, instead of just thinking, why would I buy a song when I have bills to pay?
Exactly.
Yeah, so I feel like it's mostly our setup, the way we're set up in Africa, that's holding us back. But as the more we develop, the more we also like overcome.
Do you think that? Sorry. Do you think the government supports the music here in Africa?
I feel like they try to actually. They're catching up, like they're catching up with the times.
Right.
The good thing is like we learn from other countries as well. Like South Africa, for example, they already have like the copyright and monetization and everything. And I feel like if they also introduce that to like these the third world countries like Uganda, Rwanda, Kenya, I feel like that could also help actually. And I feel like I saw actually in UG they're introducing something similar to that. So I feel like we're taking it to the next level by starting there.
So you trust the process?
Yeah, eventually we'll get there.
So back days when we grow up, you know, our parents used to look whenever they hear that you're doing music. Some parents they never believed. You know what I'm saying?
Even today.
Yeah. Them they believe that a kid should go to school, study, have that degree, become a doctor, become an engineer, become something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A banker or some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? But now there are some that who are still in that deep culture.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But there are some that who have got from there.
Yeah.
So do you think that one day to reach a point where like now parents of African kids could believe in that when a kid comes to dad and say, Dad, oh mama, I need to do music, and they support them, because most of African parents are not supporting their kids because of the professional they are trying to, you know, to follow, to do in their career and their future. Do you think one day that now Africans, even if that parent comes from the village of is deep in the culture of Africa, do you think that the one day it will reach a point where the parents can be able to support their kids for their talent?
Yeah, and I feel like it's upon us, like me also, paving the way for like the next generation. I really care like a lot about the next generation.
Absolutely.
And I feel like actually my parents also have that same mentality. So for me, like I feel like I have to prove them wrong. So we have to show them that this thing actually works.
Right.
You can actually pursue your dream. You want to be a musician, you can pursue it and make it work. And for them, that's the only time they'll jump on board. You know, like when they see it working.
Yeah.
That's the only time they'll actually jump on board
when
and
they
support
see
you. So it's upon us to take all those L's, you know, take all the doubt, the what, and turn it into, you know, like that persistence. Make sure we make this thing work so that, you know, it's easier for the next generation. They can look at artists like us and be like, you see, he dropped out of school and pursued his dream. And look where it got him. So I feel like, of course, like the next generation is gonna have it easier as compared to us, because we've seen like people achieve their dreams through that persistence. And actually, I'm also happy that some parents today actually understand it. Some parents also like support their kids in that, and they push them, you know, to even take it to the next level. So yeah, it's all a matter of time for me. I feel like.
So we still, although we are coming to an end of the show, of the podcast, you know, Uganda lost one of the greatest artists of all time, Mose Radio.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Rest in peace.
Rest in peace, Mose. But now, recently I watched a video on YouTube where the family is going through a lot.
Yeah.
And that thing doesn't happen in America, where someone's music is protected, his art is protected.
Yeah.
You know, then it comes back to us in Africa.
Yeah.
If someone, you know, he had great friends. This guy had made music that even I think it will last forever and ever.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But again, seeing his family struggling, but his music could have been so important to the family.
Yeah.
So what is the issue really? Like, what is the most problem that is really facing these Africans that who leave their family, or what do they have to do in order to protect their music so that even if the artist goes away, the family still, his music he left behind could still benefit the family other than benefiting other people that, you know?
Yeah, I feel like the biggest issue is ownership here.
Right.
Like most people get into the music without making things clear.
Right.
You own this percentage, you own this percentage. We're even having a conversation about that recently.
Yeah, exactly.
You need to own your stuff, man. You need to know, I made this song, I own this percentage, it's in my names, everything. You need to have the papers for everything, all the evidence. And I feel like we lack that a lot.
Right.
Especially even the artists that are popping right now. They probably have like the manager claiming like maybe 80% of the song. But I feel like what we should learn from the Americans is owning our music, also like buying new masters, making sure that you're well set up, you're registered your music everywhere, so that when it comes to like such conflicts, people are fighting for who owns your music, you have all the evidence, you left it to someone, you have the lawyer, you have a contract, you have everything that's needed to, you know, claim all your music. So I feel like the biggest issue is actually ownership. And also greed is also like another issue. People want to eat.
Exactly. From what they even didn't put on the board.
I connected him to this producer.
Exactly.
He owes me 10%. You know, like, yo.
All that shit.
Man.
So you find that, thanks so much for bringing that ownership thing.
Yeah.
You find that these kids are being used. Yeah. You know, a kid just come up, he has just started music now, this label comes in, woof.
Yeah.
He puts good money on the table. Yeah. This kid has never seen that money in his or her life. Yeah. It's the same thing that is happening to NBA and all those, even if we go to the US. Yeah. But now we're here, we're talking about the African music. Yeah. Now the label make a kid that whatever he produces is under the label. Like the label is one eating all that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And this kid has lawyers. He has signed the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So why is it that the attorneys of the artist can't tell the reality so that the kid, you know, has a chance so that to choose either to be owned by the label or to have a certain percentage, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Why is it that, you know, that thing, is it because of corruption or what is it? Is the music industry in Africa has too much corruption? Because most kids who are here are very talented, bro. Yeah. Very talented. These are kids who could make millions and millions of money. Yeah. But at the end of the day, you find them on the streets. And their music, after hitting 2 songs, they disappear for good. Yeah. So what is it that the music is corrupt? What is it going on, like, to you?
And for me, I feel like it's a lack of knowledge. That education, I feel like we should educate the artists on how the business side works. Right. Because most artists don't know how the business side works. You put a good figure in front of them, they see a lot of zeros, they've never seen that money, so now they're excited, they're like, I was signed like yesterday. They get excited, they don't read through the whole contract. Wow. And what I've learned for me so far, thank God I've got some knowledge from like the music business side of things. Wow. I've learned that you have to read each and every bit, man, of that contract, because they'll always find a clause somewhere, a paragraph somewhere that, you know, they can use to like win the case over you. Right. So I feel like you need to be well educated in that sector before you sign anything. You need to do your research, no matter how desperate you are. Once you know you have something that they want, especially if they approach you and they want to sign you, you have leverage now. They approached you for a reason, so you have to make sure you're protected. Wow. Because this is like a huge, $1 billion company that's approaching you, so they're well protected. They have all the lawyers, they have everything. So I feel like even you, as an individual, you could make them good money. That's what they saw in you, a chance to make more money. So I feel like you should look at that in terms of like long term, not short term. Short term. So if they're giving you this million, they're looking at maybe 5 years down the line, you could make up to like 10 times that.
100 million. Yeah, 100 million.
But you might end up only getting like pennies from what they're making off of that, just because you took this one time thing.
Deal.
Yeah. So I feel like you should have more leverage, you know. Agree to like a deal that works in your favor, maybe like 60-40, 70-30, something like that, you know, something that works in your favor.
Wow.
Because you also need them in a way, but
Exactly.
don't give them everything. So I feel like we need to like educate artists more about the business side, because that's the side that fucks them up, the lack of knowledge
Yeah, but
about it works. Yeah.
But again, even these things still happen in the US.
Yeah.
You
Even
know?
in the US, they also have that. Not every artist in the US has that knowledge. You know, they just want to be a star. You know, they see a shortcut. They want a shortcut. People nowadays are very lazy. People want a shortcut. They get approached by a label. They're like, you know what? What I could have done in like 3 years, these guys will do it for me in 6
In
months.
6 months.
So let me just take this shortcut.
Right.
They don't think long term. They want like quick results. They want to eat quick. They want to get rich quick.
Right.
And they forget that there's always a price to pay, man. That's why they say you're selling your soul. They don't mean selling it to like the actual devil. Actually, because the labels are also like the devil. So it's like you're selling your soul to the label, which is the devil.
Right.
So it's now they own your soul. You can't even like get out of the contract until like a certain time. You can't even make music outside of the contract. So you have to be smart about those decisions.
Oh. Yeah. So because like now, if that's why you find that these guys, but old school people that have read those who mastered the business, they got a lot out of it.
Yeah.
Jay, Kanye, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre, you know, the Ushers, the JDs, all of those guys have really made it out of the music and have really made themselves really good.
Yeah, I can see even with African artists. I recently saw well, I don't know the full scope, but I saw for example, Ira Star. She was signed to Maven Records, but I think maybe they had some sort of deal with them.
Right.
And you can see like on her latest release, it's under her name. Like it's not under Maven, it's under her name. So I feel like it could be maybe her contract expired, or maybe she met the terms of the contract and now she's independent. Now she can sign with whoever. The same with Joe Boy. I've been playing his song like non-stop the past 2 days.
Wow.
Like already. And I saw his latest drop is also like, because he was signed to Mr. Easy before, Power. But his latest song is now with Warner Music.
Wow.
So I feel like maybe he got down with that deal and he sought a better deal now. Because Warner is now bigger than the label he was signed to. Wow. So when I see such things, it makes me actually happy to see that the young artists now understand the business side.
The business side.
Yeah.
So as an artist, and just being signed to a label.
Yeah.
To your contribution, to the label's contribution, which one should take the biggest percentage?
The artist, of course, man. Because I feel like the label, they have all the resources. They have multiple artists. So even if they get like small percentages, they're going to accumulate, you know? So I feel like you shouldn't give them a bigger percentage because you don't know how things are gonna work. You don't know how the music weather is gonna change. The sound that might be popping right now might die out within the next year.
Right.
And then you sign like a 5-year deal and the label is taking like a huge percentage and now you're struggling after the year is done because the weather has changed. So I feel like you should keep the largest majority of your music and use the label to, you know, help you tap into like certain areas you can't tap into on your own. So I feel like for me, I would use the label as like maybe like how you jump on a border to get somewhere faster.
Right.
You know, but it's not your border. You don't own it. You jump on it, it takes you there. You know, you pay the guy, then you.
Oh no, that's a good example. That means like you're the border.
No, I'm the guy.
You're the guy.
The label is the border, so you can take me to Kichukiro very fast. You know, and
but
I jump off. I pay them.
But you don't own the border doesn't own you.
Yeah, it doesn't own me. Yeah, so.
Oh wow, that was really nice. And before even we end the podcast, how do you find Rwandan girls?
Yo,
come on, are they beautiful the way they are saying it, like in the history? Like every African is like Rwandans are hard, like they have heartbeat. But you know what I'm saying? Stories like the stories are on fire.
Yo.
So bro, tell me about it, huh? Tell me about it.
You know, like how every country says that the most beautiful girls are from this country. What?
Yeah, like Ethiopia, Rwanda, Burundi. You know what I'm saying?
I'm from UG, but haven't been here, man.
Yeah, it's something else.
Yo, there's women here, man.
You give them flowers?
They're not playing around. They're not playing around, you guys.
So what they're saying is real.
Yeah, it's for real, man.
So stories are here hard.
For days, you guys.
Huh?
For days.
You're kidding. Okay, me I've been here for some good years, but Ethiopians, okay, to me, like, Ethiopians always been my number one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But
for me, like, the biggest issue is the language, man.
the language. But
That's find a
that's
fine
true.
shorty you get and you try to speak to her and she doesn't speak English.
Oh,
like,
damn, that's cold, dog. That's cold, you know?
you don't speak French, so now you're
Fucking
stuck.
cold, bro. So,
Yeah.
did you try to hit from, some, like,
Yeah, but man, I don't get. It's like once they know you don't speak the language,
mm-hmm.
then it becomes hard for you to even carry on the conversation. So that's one of the.
But there's some sure is all good in the language,
But you know, I've only been here a week. I haven't really met as many yet.
Like,
but I'm sure.
when we went on that festival,
Yeah.
I met Miss Rwanda 2022.
Yeah.
But her English was like, was on point. And
Yeah, of course.
take a shout out to her, I love the way she is. She's so friendly, down to earth person, man. Take a shout out to Miss Muheto Divine. We appreciate for your love,
Yeah.
So, but, maybe you have, when you run to someone who knows the language, but are they cool, like, are they cool people, like the some that you have at least talked to, are they?
Well, I'm still figuring them out.
Mm-hmm.
I've only been here for a week, so I haven't really met as many yet.
Oh.
So I'm still yet to move out and meet them and see how.
So you think, like, as time comes in God's name, you're gonna like, you feel like marrying one of Randy's?
I'm not ready for marriage yet.
Yeah, like in case. I said in case.
Yeah, of course, if I meet one that I click with and everything we just flow like easily, of course, then I'll consider it. But as of now, I just want to, see how they live, their mindset and everything.
Absolutely. Yeah. Oh man, thank you so much for coming as we conclude this podcast, MC podcast, we appreciate. He's the second. I think he can also take a real shout out to all
The second is here on the MC podcast. Is another episode. Probably you watched the first episode we did, and I'll probably be dropping more with my boy, the head of the MC podcast. You can follow me on social media at the second 256. Find my music on all streaming platforms at the second. The second is one word. I always have to point that out. And cheers.
Oh man, yeah, it's my dog here. He does music, especially hip hop and MC, music, and you know what I'm saying. The podcast. We also do construction, MC, real estate. You can check us on our Facebook page, also on YouTube. As we're also trying to create the IG account. As this is our second episode, we're gonna drop it, man. So please follow his accounts. The IG, the second 256, and the Spotify, the music is there, the second 256. On YouTube, the same thing, the second 256, and also you can come on my YouTube channel, the MC Music Candy. You subscribe, hit that bell, man. We catch you. Thank you all much for watching.
Don't forget to like, share, subscribe with all your friends.
Absolutely. So we catch you. We love you. God bless you. Let's catch up next time. Peace.
Yeah. Shout out to MC for believing in the vision. That's my homie. He took me in and joined me on this crazy mission. So now it's up to me to make the execution. You can never box me in. I'm more than Afrofusion. I can switch it up and bring it back, all without confusion. Don't get too comfortable, you're gonna need a cushion.